Don't come home. Your sister needs the spotlight right now, and having you around just makes things complicated. That was the exact sentence my mother used when she uninvited me from Thanksgiving 6 years ago. My golden child sister, Chloe, had just announced her engagement to an heir of a regional logistics empire, and my modest life simply didn't fit the family brand. I packed my bags, cut the cord, and built an empire of my own in complete silence. But last Saturday, at my private coastal wedding, my family crashed the reception, expecting an open bar and a slice of my new fortune. Growing up, my sister Chloe was treated like royalty while I was treated like the help. If Chloe passed a test, there was a celebratory dinner. When I graduated top of my class with a degree in computer engineering, my dad simply asked if I could fix the garage door. I became the reliable one, quietly covering Chloe's credit card overdrafts and paying my parents' property taxes while working 80 hours a week at a mid-level tech firm. The breaking point arrived 6 years ago. Chloe landed an engagement with Richard Vance, the heir to a massive regional logistics company. My parents were ecstatic, convinced they had officially joined high society. 2 weeks before the lavish engagement gala at the Vance Country Club, my mother called. There was no warmth in her voice. She told me Richard's family ran in exclusive circles, and my presence would be a distraction. Your sister doesn't want you there, Julian, she said coldly. Don't come home. That night, I realized my role had never been family, it was just financial convenience. I canceled my flight, closed the shared accounts, and blocked their numbers. If they wanted a life without me, I was going to give them exactly that. The next 4 years were the quietest, most productive years of my life. Walking away from my family didn't break me, it freed me. I pulled every dime of my savings and launched a boutique software architecture firm specializing in supply chain automation. The first 18 months were brutal, sleeping on an office cot, surviving on black coffee, and pitching enterprise clients until my voice gave out. But by year 3, the grind paid off. We secured contracts with major logistics firms across the Midwest, transforming the business from a desperate gamble into an 8-figure asset. During that climb, I met Clara. She was an environmental consultant who valued substance over showmanship. Clara didn't care about luxury labels or social status. She stood beside me through late-night deployments and celebrated small victories over cheap takeout. For the first time, I experienced what unconditional support actually felt like. Meanwhile, fragments of my family's reality trickled in through mutual acquaintances. Chloe's fairy tale marriage had rapidly deteriorated into a public disaster. Richard Vance's family business was hit by massive fraud scandals, exposing Chloe's reckless spending habits. When the bankruptcy filings hit the local news, Richard filed for divorce, leaving Chloe and my parents drowning in unpaid luxury leases and mounting debt. They had gambled their entire identity on a gilded facade that crumbled in plain sight. I watched from a safe distance, focused entirely on the empire I was building with the woman I loved. Clara and I didn't want a hollow spectacle, we wanted an intimate celebration with the people who actually mattered. We booked a private cliffside estate in Carmel by the Sea, reserving the entire property for 40 close friends, mentors, and genuine supporters. It was understated luxury, ocean views, string quartets, and zero corporate posturing. 2 days before the ceremony, an old college friend posted a photo of the welcome dinner invitation on social media, tagging the estate's private location. Within hours, the digital footprint reached my hometown. My parents and Chloe, currently buried under foreclosure notices and legal fees, suddenly discovered that the son they had discarded 6 years ago was now the wealthy owner of a booming tech firm. They didn't see an estranged family member getting married, they saw an emergency exit from their financial ruin. On the afternoon of the wedding, just as our guests were taking their seats on the lawn overlooking the Pacific, my head of private security discreetly approached me. A luxury rental car had pulled up to the gated perimeter. My mother, father, and Chloe were standing at the checkpoint, loudly arguing with the guards and demanding immediate access. They claimed to be the VIP family of the groom, ready to claim their rightful seats at the front row. I instructed security to bring them into the estate's private library rather than create a public scene on the lawn. When I opened the double doors, my mother rushed forward with outstretched arms, her eyes wide with manufactured relief. "Julian, look at you," she gasped, trying to hug me. I took a deliberate step back, keeping my hands resting calmly in my pockets. The air between us instantly turned freezing cold. My father cleared his throat, adjusting an ill-fitting suit jacket while glancing around at the mahogany shelves and high ceilings. "You really made something of yourself, son. We always knew you had the drive." Chloe stood behind them, arms crossed, wearing an overpriced designer dress that screamed desperation. "You could have sent an invitation, Julian," she snapped, though her eyes were darting around the luxury decor. "We're losing the house, the creditors won't stop calling, and you're throwing a multi-million-dollar party without even offering to help your own blood." My mother quickly chimed in, tears brimming in her eyes. "We gave you tough love back then, Julian. We had to push you so you'd become strong, so you'd build all of this. It was for your own good. But now we're a family again, and family saves each other." I stood completely motionless, looking at the three people who had tossed me out like garbage the moment they thought they had outgrown me. Not an ounce of remorse. Just raw, unvarnished greed. I pulled out my phone, tapped the screen, and placed it on the mahogany table between us. An audio file began playing. My mother's voice from 6 years ago filled the room, sharp and unforgiving. "Your sister doesn't want you there, Julian. Don't come home." The color drained instantly from my mother's face. My father looked down at the floor, unable to meet my gaze, while Chloe shifted uncomfortably against the bookshelf. "You didn't give me tough love," I said, keeping my tone perfectly measured. "You discarded me because you thought Chloe married a golden ticket and I was just an embarrassing expense. You didn't care whether I survived, let alone built a company." Chloe scoffed, trying to regain ground. "So what? You're going to let your own sister go bankrupt over some hurt feelings from years ago? You're not here for a wedding, Chloe. You're here for a bailout," I replied, looking directly into her eyes. "And you won't see a single penny of my money. Not today. Not ever." I tapped the wall intercom and summoned security. 2 guards opened the library doors within seconds. "Please escort these 3 off the private property immediately, and ensure the gates remain locked behind them." I walked back out to the oceanfront lawn, feeling lighter than I had in years. The string quartet was playing softly, the sea breeze was warm, and Clara looked breathtaking standing at the altar with a reassuring smile. She knew what had happened in that library, and she didn't need to ask for details. Later that evening, as the sun dipped into the Pacific, I raised my glass to 40 people who had earned their place in our lives through loyalty, honesty, and genuine respect. My phone buzzed in my jacket pocket with frantic text messages from unknown numbers, but I simply switched it to silent and turned back to the dance floor. Blood ties don't give anyone a free pass to exploit your success. The family you build with intention, trust, and peace will always be worth infinitely more than the one that abandoned you.